From 8-0 all the way down to 0-8, our power rankings here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please smash that like button. Leave your comments below. We would love to see your power rankings. And, of course, subscribe right here for the best in discussion, debate, and analysis. That's our mission. That's our goal. Let's start at the top with Alabama, best team in the country, not just the SEC at 8-0. They are dominating, folks. Really, their only test was against Ole Miss when they were pushed to the wire at 48-all with about 6-7 minutes left in that game. Bama's number one in the country. At number 2, we make the separation between Texas A&M and Florida. Even though maybe the Gators had played better overall, they did play that head-to-head meeting, and results mean everything. Head-to-head wins. Texas A&M by a field goal over Florida 41-38. We've got the Aggies at 6-1, number 2 in the SEC, followed by Florida at 7-1. Georgia comes into the 4th position. There are 2 losses against maybe the 2 teams that will meet. They will meet in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. The Dogs fell to the Tide and also to the Florida Gators. Otherwise, Georgia a healthy 6-2 at number 4. Then Auburn in the 5 position with 2 controversial wins against Ole Miss and definitely against Arkansas on the Plains, but the Tigers have that 5-3 resume, and so Auburn is at number 5. Then we've got Ole Miss at number 6, and the aforementioned game in Oxford in which they took the Tide to the brink at 48-all before losing 63-48. That a tremendous effort by the Rebels. They have a couple consecutive wins as well, including the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State and the controversial loss against Auburn. So the Rebels in good shape at the 6th position in the SEC at 4-4. Then comes the Mizzou Tigers at 4-3. They hold down the 7th position and 41-0 over Vandy this past weekend. And also wins over LSU and Kentucky and South Carolina for the Tigers. At number 8, we've got LSU at 3-4. They've got the Alabama Crimson Tide coming up this weekend. Their best win, LSU, over Arkansas. And so that distinguishes our 8th team versus number 9 Arkansas. The Hogs at 3-5. Of course, the aforementioned loss on the Plains against Auburn. Probably should have won that game if the refs would have made the right call there. Arkansas, the most improved team in the league from arguably the worst, most definitely the worst over the past couple seasons, to the number 9 position. The Hogs are 3-5. Coming in at number 10, we've got Kentucky. After a string of bowl seasons under Mark Stoops and a top 10 finish in 2018, the Cats down this year at 3-6. Their high point, definitely a win by 27 points over rival Tennessee. Speaking of which, the Vols come in at number 11 at 2-5. Consider Tennessee coming off that hot stretch drive in 2019 in which they won 6 consecutive games. Finished 8-5 with a bowl win in comeback fashion over Indiana. Then Tennessee starts this season off at 2-0. In game number 3, they lead heavily favored Georgia 21-17 at halftime. And then ever since, 5 consecutive losses for Tennessee, most of those in blowout fashion. The Vols are 2-5 and number 11 in our power rankings. At number 12, we've got Mississippi State at 2-6, and talk about starting fast and then crashing. Mike Leach in his debut in the SEC and KJ Costello coming in from the Pac-12. Throw for 623 yards in Death Valley against the defending national champions in Mike Leach's SEC debut. And it's been pretty much a dumpster fire ever since. The Dogs are 2-6. Their only other win against Vandy, a game in which they were outgained 2-1. So Mississippi State a very weak 2-6 in our 12th position in the SEC power rankings. The last 2 teams, not surprisingly, had their coaches fired over the last few weeks. South Carolina comes in at number 13. The Gamecocks are 2-7. They do have the nice win against Auburn at home about a month ago, 30-22. And just to show you some separation between number 13 and number 14 in the SEC, while South Carolina is a dismal 2-7, they again did defeat Auburn. And they also beat Vanderbilt 41-7. That's how bad the Doors have been. The Commodores at 0-8 could finish winless for the first time in their 117-year history. Vandy is 0-8 coming off another humiliating loss, losing to Mizzou 41-0. Our SEC Power Rankings, there they are, 1 through 14. Would love to hear from you. Leave your comments down below and your personal power rankings for the Southeastern Conference right here at Mark Rogers TV, SEC.